I've been building an online business for the past 5 years. We've done over $1 million in revenue through creating content on YouTube, brand deals, selling digital products, and most recently, helping brands build profitable YouTube channels. I started all of this while I was studying as a full-time medical student. But the thing that keeps everything running smoothly has been Notion. I was trying to balance everything, and having an organized and productive workspace has literally been the key to achieving everything. So yeah, I love Notion. Now my workspace runs a marketing agency, 5 YouTube channels, and coordinates a lean, fully remote team all around the world. So in this video, I want to give you a tour of how I run my creator business in Notion. And hopefully you can shave off years of trial and error and focus on creating the lifestyle that you want. We're going to go through the 4 core foundations of business, starting with marketing, sales, fulfillment, and then ending it with operations. So starting with marketing. Marketing is all about letting people know about your stuff. How are people finding your products and services? Being a YouTube creator, most of my marketing is done through organic content. Watching these videos right now is a form of marketing. And the whole goal of marketing is to get people to trust your brand. My business is centered around education, or simply put, helping people solve some particular problem. Specifically on this channel, we're all about helping learners become full-time creators or build some self-reliant income for the future, because the world is kind of going to shit with AI and job insecurity and stuff like that. So how do we do that? We make organic content. So this is my marketing content engine for YouTube, and this is specific for the Koi channel. So all the other channels that we run Mike and Matty, we run Koi Studio, we run In Creator Company, and multiple other channels for other clients. They all have their own unique dashboard like this. And each dashboard is very simple and it runs top to bottom. We have a spot for ideas for all of the videos that are in production, and then a calendar just to make sure we know when is coming out and what. Currently on the Koi channel, we're shooting to post 2 videos a week. So we can see where all the videos that are coming up and the status of where they're at. And of course, I'm coordinating with my team, who's the editor, who's the lead on it, just to make sure that there's a lot of accountability to make sure these things get done. So all of the content in Koi is organized into one database in Notion, right? Remember, databases in Notion are collections of pages that you can apply different filters to or different properties to. I've worked with and spoken to all the YouTube experts, Colin and Samir, Jay Alto, Ali Abdel. Everyone says the most important thing is to generate a lot of ideas. And having been on YouTube for a long time, they're 100% right. You want to come up with at least 10 or more ideas a day, because you have to get through bad ideas before you get to the good ideas, right? You got to get your brain cooking. So always be coming up with ideas, and we just dump them all here. Once my team and I decide that we want to move forward with an idea, we'll use this button in Notion, which I created, called the green light. And the green light is literally just a button that moves this idea from a status of an idea over to the production pipeline down here. So just for example, let's just green light this video, how they got 100K subscribers with one video. I'm gonna go ahead and click green light, and we'll see that it disappeared from here. And so if I close this idea matrix toggle and we go down to in production and I open my toggle, we'll see that there that video is, how this channel got 100K subs with one video. The in production area is a Kanban board. Now I love Kanbans. I think I first discovered them using a different tool called Trello. You can just literally create these boards and then move items along them as they move down the process, down this pipeline, right? So from scripting to filming, or ready to film, filming, editing, complete, scheduled, published, and stuff. So now let's actually open up a video and look inside. So all of my videos also have templates, just to keep things super organized, and so everyone understands the workflow. At the top here, we have the statuses of the video itself and also the thumbnail. We have a scheduled release date for these videos, so everyone knows how to stay on track. We have links for Google Drive if there are assets there, or Canva, which is what we do our thumbnail designs in. If we scroll down, we'll see titles for the video, a description for the video after I write it, an outline for the video if I did one. Yep, I had an outline here with all the research that I did to support this video, and then the script of the video. So I always script word for word my hooks, because hooks are the most important part of the video. We really want them to land, but afterwards I'll usually kind of just riff with bullet points or just some ideas. I always want to have structure to my videos, so otherwise you're going to sit there for hours and waste a lot of time. And inside Notion, now that the properties have their own tab, you can open the tab on the right and you can see that all of these videos have a lot of steps inside them as well. Overview just has some like general properties about the status, what channel it's for, what type of content it is, any frame links and stuff like that. And then for each person in my team, they have their own set of properties as well. For example, since I'm the creative director on this video, I am the one whose name is here. And if there are any tasks that I needed to complete for this video, I could create them here. And this also applies to all the other members of my team who work on this video. And so if we had a scriptwriter or someone researching for our videos, they would input their information here. Our editor has their own area as well. Our designer, our thumbnail designer has an area as well. Sometimes I design our own thumbnails, so I could also be assigned there. We have project time. So this is a newer feature that we've been adding just to time track how long it takes us to do certain parts of the creative process. Things about running a business is you want to always improve the business. We're going to get to this more in the operational step, but it's not about micromanaging how much time you spend. It's about identifying, can you improve your productivity? This is really, really important. And every video has this structure, which allows us to move really, really quickly and create a lot of content across multiple channels. Oh, by the way, if you like this content engine right here, this whole YouTube production system that we got going on, I'll leave a link below to check out Content Engine. It also comes with full tutorials about how to customize it and run multiple channels for yourself and grow your brand. Anyways, let's move on to step number 2 now. So if marketing was all about getting people to know about our stuff and get them interested in our stuff, sales is all about getting them to actually buy your stuff. So how do we do that? In our business, this is the usual flow that people will take to buy some stuff from us. They will watch videos first. That allows us to build trust with our audience, showing them that we can help them solve their problems by teaching, educating, making valuable content for them. From there, they will usually click a link or sign up for our email to get to a landing page or book a call. And then from there, they will buy. So depending on the product we have, if it's a digital product like a course, then there might not be a sales call involved. Or if it's for one of our higher ticket offers, like running strategy or full production for education brands, then booking a call is usually a lot more helpful because it allows me to make sure that we can actually help solve the problem they need and help grow their brand. And if it's a good fit and we vibe with each other's vibe, then we'll start working together. So let's start at the top here with our CRM, or Customer Relationship Management System. Basically, it is a way to keep track of all the people who are interested in buying your products or leads, and then just following up and tracking them as they go through your sales process and eventually become your client or they refuse your offer. So the way that I set up ours, I have a temperature on the left. So for all the leads we get through our email or who are interested in our products and services, they get added to this CRM through an automation, which I have with make.com. And then I assign a temperature to them. Blue meaning cold, yellow meaning warm, red meaning hot. Cold meaning they're probably not a good fit based on some of the questions they answered. So we have actually like a qualifying questionnaire first. So we asked like, how big is your YouTube channel? How much revenue are you currently earning? How many videos have you made? Like basic questions just to get a feel of like who they are. Lead source tells me how did they find my offers? Usually for us it's through organic, which means like organic content. So YouTube videos, Instagram. Mainly for us, it's YouTube. If they have a social, they put it in, they can put it there, and then location in the world of where they live. Sometimes we get people through referrals or word of mouth as well. And then, from newsletter and stuff like that. This is the page I use during sales calls. So during sales calls, I pull up their information just so I have it handy. I always do a little bit of like refresher before I hop on a call, just so I know who I'm talking to and what they need, at least based on the preliminary questions they have. And then inside of this document, I also have kind of like a framework that I run through that I got from Alex Hormozy, who I think is a master entrepreneur at this point. I just kind of wrote out his whole closer framework in here and kind of adapted it to my business and the way that I would do sales. But yeah, we run through the whole framework with them. I don't really read word for word the script anymore because I've gotten familiar with it, but it's just kind of there for me to make sure to ask questions if I get stuck or if they're having a hard time articulating to me what they really need. And then I'll always at the end, at the bottom as well, with one of Notion's newer features, actually record the call too. So you can do this by doing like /meeting and use AI meeting notes. You obviously need to have Notion AI, I think, which we do in our business, but it also transcribes the call for me. So I never have to worry about taking notes. It's just taking notes. I can just be present during the call and really get to learn if and how I can help someone solve their problem. And then at the end, Notion AI also like summarizes for me the call itself. And depending on how the call went, I'll either do some more follow-up or whatever and see if we can seal the deal. And based on the ones who do end up working with us, they get split into 2 different groups based on the package that we might sell. And then for the ones who are closed, I change their status here from whatever stage they're in to closed. That will run another automation to ping someone on my team to then create for them a dashboard which will be used for the next step in the process, which we go back to now is fulfillment. So marketing is about letting people know about your stuff. Sales is about getting people to buy your stuff. Fulfillment is all about making people happy that they bought your stuff. Just because someone buys your stuff doesn't mean they're going to know how to use it, doesn't mean they're going to get value out of it. And if they don't feel happy that they bought your stuff, they're not going to leave you a good review. They're probably going to trash talk your business. They're going to ruin your business that way. So make sure you're delivering good stuff for the people who buy your products. They're investing money into you. And as a creator and as a business owner, like that's your reputation that's on the line. So we really do emphasize and put a lot of effort into making sure that everyone we work with feels really good about the product that they got. So how do we do that? Really, there are 3 ways that we do it, and I call them 3 E's. Number 1 is we make sure to educate. We're an education business, so that's with courses, templates, worksheets, checklists, tools, whatever resources we have, we make sure that they have them and they know how to use them. We also empower them. So depending on the package of the person, they'll get calls with us. They have communication, comms, the DMs, whatever it be for them. So they always have support from our team. And then we help them execute depending on what product or service they bought. So you maybe have seen these acronyms before. DIY means do it yourself. So this will just be like a self-paced program, usually a course or template or something like that, done with you. So DWI is consulting. We help you take action, but you have to do all the work. We're just making sure and holding your hand that you are actually doing the work. And then we also do have some that we do done for you. So this will be, we'll just take care of all of it. We'll do a service for you. So for us, that is doing full strategy and post-production for YouTube videos to help brands scale so they can have more time to focus on products or marketing or training or something like that. We'll take care of all the content on the YouTube front. This is a lot of stuff here. Not all of it is managed in Notion, but a lot of it is. And this is the one that's a bit more flexible depending on the product, but that's why we create like project-specific pages and dashboards for everything. So let's go over to one of our main ones right now called YouTube Production System. This is our main offer right now, YouTube Production System, where we help creators build profitable YouTube channels because YouTube is hard, and there's no good playbook for how to grow a channel, build something that lasts, and also turn it into like a full-time income. And we're lucky that we were able to do it ourselves. And so we're passionate about helping other people do the same. But everything related to fulfillment for this product is in this project dashboard here. So scrolling down, we always have a reminder of the top of who is the actual audience this is for, or links to go back to the sales engine if I need to, or check out any tools and tech that might be needed for this specific project. But we also have goals specific to the project, and then all the different projects and resources that are required to fulfill for this as well. And then within projects, we have all the tasks as well that are needed. This is the hierarchy framework that we've been using in our business. It comes from Gino Wickman's book, Traction, which is one of the best books I think I've read on how to build successful products. We always start big picture first with what is the goal? And we set goals on a quarterly basis. And the thing about goals that's really important is that someone on the team needs to own the goal. Otherwise, it's not going to be managed at all, right? So I have a filter set up in the goals so that I can see only the goals that are assigned to me. Obviously, if I take out my name, then we'll see all the goals for everyone who's on this project, which we don't need to see. But my goals here at the top for this product are product innovation. So I'm always making product improvements, updates, taking feedback and actually making changes. Also on the creative side, I am responsible for the marketing of the product. So making 8 videos per month for YouTube and then helping us hit a 40K MRR for this particular product. And inside of each goal, not just to have goals, but you need to be specific about what kind of goals you set. So this is typically called KPIs, I think, in business. I kind of learned what those recently are. Basically, you just want to track something so you know that you're making progress towards your goals. That's what KPIs are, key performance indicators. And so for us, we have a whole section here about what those could be. I'm not going to get too deep into the actual KPIs and stuff. If you guys are interested in that kind of video, I can make a follow-up one in the future. So next, moving down to projects and resources. So to me, I split up projects and resources. Projects are things that we have to take action on and have clear deliverables. Resources are just resources that help you take action on your projects. Let me just go deeper on what projects are for me in Notion. Projects need to have 4 key components. First, it needs a deadline. When is this project due? Number 2, it needs a deliverable. What needs to be finished by this deadline? Number 3 is to-dos. What are the specific tasks that are required to get that deliverable done? And number 4 is documents. What are all the files, the signatures, the research, the articles and stuff that you need to compile in order to finish the tasks to create that deliverable. Those are the 4 Ds of a project. And so the Notion properties that I have inside of each of these pages really reflect that. So for example, let's open up the curriculum I have for YPS here. As you can see, we have a few different versions of the outline, but the whole curriculum is laid out here inside of Notion, starting from the start here, part of the curriculum, to stage 1, stage 2, some extra ideas. Inside here are like scripts, outlines, and ideas and research for this particular lesson here. This is what I would call a document. We also have tasks for all these. So if I expand my view details on the right, we'll see that this project is 33.33% complete. There are a lot of different tasks here that need to be finished. The whole goal of this is that everything I need for this particular project is right here in this project page. And if we go back to the master project here, which is YouTube production system, that should be true for all of these different projects here. Resources, on the other hand, if you go into resources, are things that don't have deadlines, deliverables, to-dos. It's really just documentation, right? So for example, a resource here are the different forms that we create. When someone joins our program, there's an intake form, there's a feedback form, there's a form for booking calls, like I said earlier. All of these are not things I need to keep doing. So nothing needs to be done anymore for me. I think this creating the forms was at first a project, but now it's become a resource because we can just use it over and over and over again for anyone new to the programs. All right, and now we're gonna move on to the last piece here, which glues everything together, as you can see by the arrows here, operations. Marketing is about letting people know about your stuff. Sales is about getting people to buy your stuff. Fulfillment is making people happy they bought your stuff. Operations is making sure that everything keeps working. There's a saying that goes, you can't just work in the business, you also have to work on the business, because working on the business grows the business. That's what operations is all about. You can see here visually, it's working on the business. How are we improving marketing? How are we improving our sales? How are we improving our fulfillment? How are we keeping the business afloat and running? So what are some of the ways that we're doing that using Notion? First of all, systems. Systems are super important. So systems are big picture stuff. They are a list of steps, and each step includes standard operating procedures, also known as SOPs. Let me give you a quick example. One of our most important systems is content production, because we run a lot of YouTube stuff. And so what are all the steps that are in the process of making content? Well, we have to come up with good ideas. We have to come up with good titles, good thumbnails, which we call the packaging. We have to outline and research videos, we script videos, and we actually have production, which is filming. Then we do post-production, which is editing, revisions, and then we schedule, we publish, and then we look at feedback and analytics. Those are a lot of steps, and each of those steps has SOPs or specific checklists or structure to how we can perform them at a high quality. And it's been really important to create systems like this in our business. One, because it maintains high quality. If everyone is able to follow the same system, then you get very reliable results. And second of all, it will allow you to offload that responsibility later on. So if you start working with contractors or other team members, they can follow your system and get similar results. And if they're smarter, they can also help you improve those systems. And that's why systems are so important, which actually leads nicely into number 2, accountability. So operations is all about making sure that everyone knows what they need to do, when they need to do it by, and how good of it they're doing. So having systems, again, to keep everyone accountable for the growth of the business. Number 3, I just called it culture, but this is really just, do we work together well as a team and we get along and vibe together? Because if everyone's feeling good and bought into helping grow the business, then it's one, a much more enjoyable, fulfilling experience to build something with people who actually want to be there. But you need players who are in it with you in the long run. So one of the ways that we use Notion for these 3 is with meetings. And we're a fully remote team, so it's really important for us to have meetings, get FaceTime and also hang out. So let me just open up our meetings page. So this is our meetings database. All I did was create a template for the different types of meetings that we have. If it's only the client, if it's for our editor and creative syncs, it's for traction of operational stuff. And inside of each meeting, I have a template that also uses Notion AI's meeting agent. So it also records a transcript of all of our meetings as well. And then we usually have an agenda for the things that we want to discuss in our meetings with follow-ups as well. The next thing we've done, which has been super valuable, is to create a wiki. So a wiki is just a master library where we document every single SOP that runs our business. So if you go down here, we can see the SOPs for all of our email stuff, SOP for big marketing, for community management, for our team policies, for Instagram, for being a website person, customer support, YouTube itself, SEO, brand, products, basically everything that runs our business eventually gets turned into a checklist if it needs to, and then added here. And so, for example, if I open up something like our thumbnail manual, this has everything about how to create really, really strong thumbnails for YouTube. If you just go through, it has basically all of my processes for making good thumbnails, all the steps, very, very detailed, very, very clear with examples. I think the important thing is just giving a lot of examples in your SOPs if you can. If you want to be able to delegate and offload responsibilities, then you just really need good documentation and good education for how someone else on the team could be able to step in and pick it up. I do want to mention something really important that we learned kind of later on, which is not to just build SOPs because you want to build SOPs. We've discovered that it's best to build SOPs and checklists only when you have a working system. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of time and run into a lot of problems. So think about it this way. If your system is to create YouTube videos, but your YouTube videos are really, really bad, right? Like they're flopping, they get no views, they get no engagement at all. And you turn that system into an SOP, then all you're going to be doing is churning out bad content on repeat. So it's really important to first build a system that works. Once it works, you can validate that it works, then you should turn that into an SOP to be offloaded. So as you can see, all 4 of these pillars are like massive systems. They have systems within systems, right? Under operations, there's like finance system, there's hiring, there's recruitment, there's training. Under marketing, there's newsletter, can be email, there can be YouTube, there can be live events. But just having these systems, even like loosely in place, has given me so much more clarity, so much more flexibility and peace of mind to just know that, okay, things are not going to fall apart. The creator economy is fairly new. You know, creator businesses are still in their like teenage years. You know, it's only been around for 15 or so years. And I think it's really interesting, the parallels between them and regular businesses. There's obviously nuances and differences. And that's really what we're excited to explore, because I'm taking a bet that this is going to be like the future of everything. Everything is moving online. So if you're a creator or entrepreneur, hopefully seeing my setup in Notion can give you some inspiration or at least some guidance on how to build this. Like I said, if you want to check out Content Engine, which is our Notion template for the whole content production side of things, which is a huge, crucial part of one of these businesses. So if you want a deeper dive into how I manage my Content Engine, the one I showed you earlier in this video, I actually made another video deep diving into it right here, or you can actually check it out in the links below. I will see you there.